Okay, so some of you may have noticed the news, especially if you're like me and you're mining Bitcoins and you're mining Ethereum and you're mining Litecoin and such and such. If you're mining cryptocurrency, some of you have probably noticed the recent news. Bitcoin slides below $2,000 as cryptocurrency sell-off continues. Bitcoin is off by 40%. Ethereum is down 60% from the June highs. So it goes on to say the price of the digital currency, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says the price of digital currency fell over the weekend, dropping below $2,000. Bitcoin was above like $2,300 only a few weeks ago, and that's why you saw it in the news constantly. Bitcoin on Sunday traded as low as $1,836. Research site CoinDesk said it's down 8% on the day, almost 40% from its high of $3,018 on June 11th. So this shit went up to $3,018. So basically, long story short, like I'll try to include the URLs of anything that I quote here. I'll try to include the URLs if you don't see it yourself. But let me make a long story short. I did a recent video because I had gone to Micro Center and I was upgrading some of my computers, because basically the way it is this. If you know anything about mining Bitcoin, you know that obviously you need a computer that's dedicated to mining. So you need GPUs, which means that you need video cards specifically for your mining, basically. And your computer basically runs 24/7 because it's mining while it's running these hashtags and these codes and whatnot, and it's ultimately mining, creating cryptocurrency, and then it deposits it automatically into an account. So basically I made myself a $5,000 investment, since I had the money mostly from YouTube earnings, but I built a miner. And now, the problem with mining Bitcoin is because you're running a computer with GPUs at 125, 150% of their normal use, and you usually have to get these super clock cards in order to get the most mining done. The problem is your electric bill skyrockets. I'm not sure what my electric bill is, but maybe I can show you what my electric bill was when I was mining at home. But anyway, what I did was I took it to my office, since I have a small business, and instead of me paying the electric bill here at my house, what I did was I took it to the office and I let it stay at my office, and it runs day and night, and it's constantly mining cryptocurrency. I'm trying to explain, you know, the terms I'm using, because I know some people may not know much about Bitcoin. But let me explain what you're seeing here, such as this story reported by MarketWatch. There are 3 simple rules to investment. Number 1, buy on the rumor, sell on the fact. So that means that if you hear about some shit coming out or something, that might be a great time to buy, because at that time, the stock is going to be probably at its lowest. And when you say sell on the fact, after everybody else knows about it, the stock price has already risen very high. So at that point, people are saying, you know what, my stock is up, so let me cash out. Perfect example. I bought into Tesla as soon as I drove the Model S back in 2012. I spent about $10,000, a little bit more. Spent about $10,000. And now those shares that were worth less than $30 are now worth more than, I think it's like $300. I forget what the high is now. Some of it I sold off, but a lot of it I kept. But anyway, long story short, a second rule is you always buy low and you always sell high. You buy low and you sell high. You never buy into a stock at the high. Right now, and a few weeks ago, Bitcoin is at its highs. It's still high at 1836. That's a high. It used to be much, much lower, but right now the shit is 1836. In fact, what I could do is I could pull up the, what is it called? Bitcoin price. Let's see, Bitcoin pricing. Okay, so basically, if I can show you the graph, as you can see, in 2013, this shit was worth nothing. But right now, it went up to $3,000 and it dropped. It's still around $2,000, as you can see from that little graph. Now, if you, back in 2013, had invested even $1,000, let's say $500. If you had invested $500 or $1,000, you would be a millionaire right now. The problem with Bitcoin is nobody believed in it when it first came out, not even me. But now I am a firm believer in cryptocurrency a few years later. And what I did was last year I started getting myself into it and buying into the shares, and then I started mining after I was able to build some computers. But long story short, it's up to 1932, and that's still a damn high because nobody's going to go and buy one Bitcoin for $1,932. There are more countries out there whose currencies have been decimated by economic warfare, and because of that, a lot of them are switching over to cryptocurrencies. I want you to listen to me very carefully because this just might be the information that actually makes you some money if you know what to do with it. A lot of countries have had their currencies destroyed by economic warfare. Economic warfare, countries such as Haiti, Zimbabwe, etc., their currencies are highly inflated and they're in deep debt. So a lot of people are trying to switch over to cryptocurrency for their business and to price products. If you go to Dubai, like I did, I made a video of going to Dubai. It's called The Real Dubai. You can look it up just in case you didn't see it, like if you're a new person who just joined my channel. But anyway, Dubai, in certain stores, especially like Lamborghini dealerships, Ferrari dealerships, they actually will let you exchange Bitcoins to buy cars. They will let you exchange Bitcoins to buy cars. They'll even let you exchange Bitcoins to buy apartments, etc. like that. China will not let anybody challenge the yuan, but there's a lot of Chinese investors and a lot of Russian investors who are using Bitcoin to move their money around, since some governments don't allow you to move certain amounts of money around. I'm saying this for the people who are new because I'm trying to be informative. So anyway, the future of cryptocurrency is looking pretty good. And the reason why is because you may have noticed some of you who are not into computer gaming. Somebody's asking me about Blowzoff. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want you to understand something. BLOZF, when I bought into it, when I told you to first buy into it, if you look back in my videos, I told you to buy into it when it was only 0.15. Now, BLOZF, which is a company, Cannabix Technologies, which is making marijuana breathalyzers, they are currently testing out and getting ready for trials. Believe me, I got in at 0.15, if you remember my videos. You can look back through my Market Watch playlist if you want. You can see all the stock advice that I've pretty much given has been pretty good. They are making marijuana breathalyzers. Understand something. This is why I want you to listen very carefully. Anybody who smokes weed, I've never smoked weed, but I want you to understand something. I bought thousands and thousands of shares of marijuana, as I've made videos about. The police are never going to allow you to be free to smoke marijuana. Even if some states make it legal, other states will make it illegal. The surrounding states will always make marijuana illegal. So that means that Cannabix Technologies, who is developing a breathalyzer for marijuana, their technology is going to probably end up the exact same way the current breathalyzer for alcohol has ended up. Once that stock takes off and gets above 0.50, maybe it gets a different IPO or whatever, once that stock takes off, if you're not in, and right now I think it's 0.40, because I know when I bought in, let's see, BLOZF, when I bought into that shit, it was 0.15. Right now, it's 0.47. Over 5 years, as you can see, it has gone from 0.12 up to 0.71. That's when I saw the highs in my stock portfolio, and now it's down to 0.47. So let me tell you like this. If you have the money, go ahead and invest in it. And I'm saying the same thing about Bitcoin. Right now, if you want to build a Bitcoin mining machine, you're talking about $1,000 for the computer. You get a Core i7 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then you're going to need GPUs. Those are video cards. And the last video I made was about the video cards. Video cards have been selling out. There's a couple of stories. If you type GPUs selling out, what you'll see is AMD graphic card are selling out for the wrong reason. But this is what I want. Basically, I can break it down like this. First of all, these video cards are supposed to be for people who play games. The problem is people are buying these things left and right so they can mine Bitcoins. And that was what I said in the last video. They're mining Bitcoins. They're buying AMD processors. They're buying NVIDIA processors. First of all, let me make it very clear to you. NVIDIA's graphics card, as you know, I have a Titan X in my Core i7 computer. running these multiple monitors. I was thinking about adding a fourth monitor, but I won't do that just yet because I need another table. But anyway, NVIDIA makes the absolute best graphics cards. The 1080 Ti is pretty much the fastest graphics cards you can possibly buy right now in the market to play video games. There are some faster ones for workbenches, but you're not buying it for workbenching, you'd be buying it for gaming. But anyway, the 1080 Ti is the fastest one. The problem is that thing costs $800. The Titan X series costs about $1,000 or $1,200. It depends where you buy it from. And you pretty much have to buy it from their website now because Micro Center doesn't want to carry them anymore. NVIDIA's processors are superior. AMD's graphics cards, when you chain them together, gives you, I can't say superior, but I will say that if you chain Radeons together, if you chain this new line of cards up together, you get lots of processing power at a relatively low price. So you can buy 2 of these cards for the price of one NVIDIA Ti, 1080 Ti. Pretty much. That I'm quoting Micro Center prices, so don't attack me and say, oh yeah, you're wrong, it cost $480. No, goddammit. I'm talking about Micro Center. That's where I shop for my computer equipment. So anyway, these graphics cards are selling out because more and more and more people are mining Bitcoins and mining Ethereum and mining Litecoin, etc., etc. See, these people are trying to get into cryptocurrencies. That is the reason why the stock is sliding. The reason why it's dropping is there's a lot of people who are selling off because they're probably afraid that as more and more and more people mine, that the value of their Bitcoins is going to go down. Somebody just asked me a question, how long does it take to mine Bitcoin? That was Ohio Sneakers. Ohio Sneakers says, how long does it take to mine Bitcoin? If you have a computer that is running just to mine Bitcoins and you have a fast processor that's able to handle these huge bits of code that are being sent to the computer, you can literally make between $1, possibly $3, maybe even $4 or $5 a day. It used to be easier to do it when there were fewer people doing it, but the problem is now you have too many people doing it. In my opinion, the $3,000 or the $4,000 or $5,000 that you would invest in the computers, in my opinion, you're better off investing in the stocks themselves. Now, why do I say that? Bitcoin is worth 40%. It's off 40%. Ethereum's down 60%, right? So now if you look at the cost of, say, what is this? Let's say if you look at Litecoin. If you look at Litecoin, right? Litecoin price. Let's say if you look at Litecoin price. Litecoin is actually an easy way in because Litecoin right now is only worth $41.57. So if you were to consider going into Litecoin, let's see the year long. Look at this. This is the price of Litecoin. I want you to look at this. It's basic mathematics, really. Litecoin was 0. Now, by 2017 March, right? Look at that jump in Litecoin prices. Litecoin went from less than $10 to now it's $42 per share. Think about that for a second. So imagine this. Imagine you had $500 and you had invested in freaking March, just of March of this year. If you had invested like I did with March, right now you'd be fucking here, right there, 40.1. Think about that shit. $41, $42. So what I'm saying is these lows that are, it's breaking down. It's getting low right now. See, this is World Coin Index, right? So if you look at Ethereum, the last time I checked, it was just under $200, right? Let's say you have a couple of $1,000 that you want to invest. Let's say you did. If you were to have bought into Ethereum, I don't know why this fucking thing is not, oh, wait. I don't know why this thing's not moving. All right, I'll just open up a new one. Ethereum. Okay, so if you were to buy into Ethereum, the Ethereum price chart is right here. If you buy into Ethereum, right now the price is $155, right? You can look up these price charts yourself. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you look at the overall momentum of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, the reason why, number one, that the value's going up is because now you've got people interested in it, and you have a lot of investors who are trying to put their money into something other than gold. They're trying to diversify. But the problem is you have so many people buying GPUs so that they can mine cryptocurrency. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that this summer, if you don't have any cryptocurrency in your portfolio, this might be the best time to get into it. Because once these people finish their sell-off, Bitcoin is probably going to go back up to $2,000. And now that people are seeing that it's an easy way to make money if they're willing to invest in the computers, some people think Bitcoin could rise past $5,000. Some people think it could get as high as $10,000. Now, there are investors like Peter Schiff who are probably right, and they think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most of the cryptocurrencies, even though they have extremely high market caps in the billions, they believe that these things are bubbles and they are speculative assets. What that means is that people decide that something's worth something, so they all start investing in it, and that causes the price to go up. If these things are speculative assets, just like basically anything else. Everything's Apple's shares, all of that stuff is speculative because people think Apple will be worth more money, so they invest more in it. But anyway, they think that these cryptocurrencies could be a bubble. Now, as good investors, they always like to pad their portfolios. So somebody who's got $100,000 or $1 million, they could peel off $1,000 here and there and say, you know what, give me some Ethereum, give me some Bitcoin, give me some this, give me some that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that these Litecoin, the trajectory of Litecoin is looking good. Now, I can't force you to go out and buy something, and I can't absolutely recommend you go out and buy something because I think that's like insider trading or some shit. But what I can say is that the trajectory of Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin look good. Now, I'm mining Bitcoins at my office right now 24/7 around the clock. The only problem, and this is something I want to warn you, these video cards, where is that? Where's the 1080 Ti? That's my favorite because I have the supercharged version. Where is that shit? All right, so these video cards, right? These things are fucking expensive. But if you're willing to buy in and you're willing to suffer the electric bill increases, they can make you some money. The problem is, every single year you have to upgrade your computer because as the code gets longer and longer and longer and longer, the computers are no longer able to, handle them, right? So there's some people who go all out. They have gigabit Ethernets. They have fast internet connections. And then, they spend some good money. But what I'm trying to tell you is be very careful next year when all of these people like me who are taking their video cards and selling them on eBay start selling these cards used. Because one thing you got to remember is these cards have been run 24/7 over 125%, and their lifespans have basically been killed by mining Bitcoin. If I were you, there's no way in hell I would buy a used video card, because if you buy a used video card, that shit is almost guaranteed to stop working. Pretty much guaranteed. So basically, that's just what I wanted to talk about, because what it was I came home from a car show, basically a car meet, and I started reading news about cryptocurrency sliding over the weekend. So anybody who's interested in buying in, or anybody who's interested in mining, I really think that this is kind of the time that you're probably looking for. We don't know where Bitcoin will be on Friday. We don't know where Ethereum and Litecoin will be on, say, Friday. We don't know where they'll be at the end of this year. But I believe that because of the increased hype and activity, that these things are definitely going to see more momentum as the year goes by. That's what I believe. So you can't really hold me to that, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do some investing. My YouTube money, I'm reinvesting some of my YouTube money to pad my portfolio with this shit. You might want to do the same thing too, and you can thank me later.